What's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video I'm going to explain to you and show you which is the best icon swaps to go for. Now don't forget, you can only get 8 so far in this season and 8 next season, so I'm also going to tell you which ones you can get for this season and which ones I would go with personally. Now as usual, I say, look, if you got if I'm an Arsenal fan, if you want to go and get Henry, then get him. If you're a fan of a player, I'll say just get him. But the way that I do it is I try to do it statistically, and I look, okay, is it worth my time? That's where I look at it now. The fodder packs are always pretty good. You can save them for the next promotion or team of the season. It's up to you. Now Henry, now the problem is for 6, Henry is probably, for the average player, I would say it's not worth it. For the hardcore players, definitely not. 300k, it's not that hard to get 300k. I mean, if you grind the game with rewards being so good, it's actually pretty easy. The problem is he's 6'2", medium, and you put a hunter on him. Okay, 88 shot power, it's decent, but the balance is awful. Stamina is not that good either. So that's the problem. Although he's a very good card, it's not like again, if it was a prime, it would be a different situation. But I'll be honest, the Henry, it's just not worth it. I'm sorry, I'm an Arsenal fan as well, but he's just honestly not worth it. Just better off buying the coins. You might as well just buy someone like, for that price point, I'm gonna give you an alternative. Just buy Butragueño. You got the similar price. You got a tradable card that you can sell at least, although you spend money in arguably to get him. But you got the weak foot, a 5-star weak foot, and high agility and balance. So I would say no to Henry. Then we move over to Hernandez, Xavi. Not a bad option, I think, because you can get him in this season. I think he's not a bad option now. Prime Xavi, I mean, the way I look at him is that he's 500k, okay, but there's so many good centre mids, like maybe a bit of an unorthodox one, but unless you need an icon, unless you're a Xavi fan, I look at someone like Renato Sanchez, right? Just in terms of face value, right? They're both high. Renato's a bit clunkier, but Renato, apart from passing, Renato and basically shooting, you can argue is very similar. Although maybe Renato wins here and maybe loses the positioning, but I would say Renato is the better card. I mean, apart from the dribbling as well, okay, it's the same ideally. I would say realistically, Renato is the better card. As sad it is, he's a very underrated card in FIFA, but it's not worth it in my opinion. And that's why I was just saying, just be very careful when you're going for Xavi. Only do him if you're a fan. Otherwise, in a NealGuides, honestly, in a normal format, don't get him. Then you end up going with the Prime Icon pack. Now I would say for those of you that, because don't forget, you get 8 now and then you get 8 next season. This season, if you're watching this on the 23rd of the 2nd, this season ends, if I'm not mistaken, in 26 days time. So you're gonna have to wait 26 days to get the rest of them, so you can only get up to Stoichkov. I would say the Prime Icon pack is the one to try luck. If you're sitting there like, you know what, Neil, my team's complete, so I'll give an example. I'll use my team as an example. It's not a top tier. That's not it. That's the squad build I made yesterday. It's not a top tier team, but it is definitely a very good team. Some people would say it's top tier teams. With how easy it is to make coins, it's debatable, but I wouldn't say it's an amazing team, but it's still a very good team. So I wouldn't mind trying my luck. You know, there is a chance I could get R9. You never know. There's a chance I could get Cruyff. So in my opinion, take your chance if your team is complete, is what I would say. For most of you though, I know some guys watch to say, look, my team's not complete. You're really bidding on your luck. If you need a winger, Stoichkov again, it's a bit of an issue because Stoichkov, he's just not worth it. If you look at his price again, it's going to be another situation, right? If we go ahead and we type it, this is prime. Unless you're a Bulgarian or you're a Stoichkov fan, 500k, you can arguably get mid Butragueño. That you can argue is a better striker and an attacker, 5-star weak foot, top tier agility and balance. Whereas Stoichkov, he's what I play that I've always really liked. Weak foot, decent, very good agility, balance is a bit, yeah. With a hunter, yeah, you get the job done on the wing, medium work rates. I mean, as a winger, okay, fine, but I think for that price, you can practically even get someone like basically Nedved, 115k, put a hunter on him, and you can argue got a better card in altogether in total. So I would say no for Stoichkov. Now you're delving on 10 now. So 10, of course, you have to wait till next season. Now, realistically, the earliest you can get this is probably So you have, normally it's like a foot champs, you need a certain amount of wins. The earliest you can probably get this is between 30 and 40 days time. So if next season comes out in 26 days, I don't know what the date is. Let's say 28 days. So maybe you can get it between, yes, let's say 35 days on average. It's the quickest you can do this, I would say, roughly. Again, you're taking your chances. What you can do is you can go on Footbin. I'd recommend just going on Footbin and just, unfortunately, I don't think you can filter via mid and prime. Let's see. Hang on. That's mid. If I do mid and prime icons. Rip. So I was trying to show you, for example, how it would work, but it won't. So you have to, I don't know the exact code. I'm sure there's one way of doing it, but just go all for a second. Go to the 3 stars here, put my minimum rating here, double check minimum rating so we know it's 91. You can check this for yourself just in case I'm not here one day, and you can see, yes, let's ignore one page with a lot of base icons, but yet there's some top tier icons. Then so like you can have very, very good top tier icons. Even in this page, some of these icons I don't think worth, like, I don't think Eto is worth the money in my opinion. But then you go to the second page and you get cards that are not very desirable, put it that way. You get a lot of these garbage cards as well, so testing your luck there. And I think ignore, if you're going to go for this, I would say wait. Gerard, the prime moments have not come out yet, so we can't see the stats. I'm not too sure why, to be honest. I think they should release it, but let's just say we're judging by last year. We can see the last year prime moments cards over here. We can see that he ends up becoming 92 rated. Yeah, he's all right. I think as a centre mid, he's actually a pretty good card. Maybe I prefer Xavi because they're GL team balanced. So if I really had to choose between them, I'd probably go with Xavi. Now, Cafu is a really good right back. I think for Cafu, I think his market value is actually pretty good as well. So I think if you're looking for a card, I think this might be a good card. 800k he goes for. I wouldn't play him as centre back because he hasn't really got the high defensive work rates, but he can get the job done there because he's got very, very good defensive awareness. I think an anchor or a shadow on 7 cams should be fantastic for this card. I think if you're looking for a solid left back and right back, go ahead and get Cafu. I think he's a kind of a guarantee, but I think if you're gonna go and get 11, this I would say is the best thing to get, the middle of the prime icon pick, because at least now it's been buffed. Before it was 1 of 2. But at least you got a choice. You know, you can get R9, Eusebio, Nakata. Or you can get Nakata, Nedved, and you get like Zanetti. But at least you got a choice. At least you can be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I can go ahead with the right back Zanetti. At least you got a choice. I would say, if you are going to go for the second season, get this one. 92 prime icon pack. Again, you're just trying your luck. Cannavaro is a bit too slow as well. I can show you. Cannavaro stats from last year. His icon, you can see, for example, like here, his prime moments, not the fastest, good agility and balance there. I think with the shadow, he's probably a good card, I'll be honest. Assuming they give him the same stats. I mean, they may give him a different stats. I mean, God knows what I haven't shown it, but he's still a good card. Don't worry about the dribbling too much because he's got very good agility and balance, so ignore this. He's a good card. I mean, if you're looking for a good centre back that kind of plays like a fullback, he's got the high agility and balance, I would say go for it. So maybe Cannavaro might be actually a good play there. You got the prime icon player pick, which is the better version of this, you can argue. I think if you're going to get 12, then you might as well go for 15. I wouldn't go the Primer Moments pack because you could just get, again, garbage. There's still a lot of garbage players. You could get the Cruyff, but the chance you get in Cruyff is like, I don't know, 1 in, I think it's like 1 in like, maybe like 1 in 10,000. But then you might get like some like Shevchenko Prime Moments. So it's up to you. And then Garincha is actually a very, very good card, but it's all the way to 17. So you're going to have to get all your cards, go through all that squad battles and all that. So now, just for a general overview, what I would say is if your team is complete and you want to get it all done in this season, go for the Prime Icon pack. And then maybe next season, you can just take the fodder if you don't mind playing it. Or if you want to get double 8, you can get, for example, 8 here. And you get someone like Xavi, or you can get someone like Henry, or maybe some of that one that icon, the packs, save it for team of the season, whatever. if you're going to go to next season, you want to get it done. Or let's say, for example, you're like me, you're not going to play squad battles. I hate squad battles. I mean, I know some of you guys love it. Fair play. I can't play against AI. I just hate it. It's too boring for me. But if you're going to go for that, I think you can probably go for the middle prime icon. I think maybe suffer and maybe do 1 or 2 squad battles. But I would say middle prime icon player pick, because at least you got a choice. That's what I say to everyone. You know, if you get this, you may get like, I don't know, prime Nakata. Then what? You're gonna be like, I went all that effort. But at least with this one, you got a choice. You got a safe net. You got 1 of 3. 1 of 2 is a bit harsh, but now it's 1 of 3. I think this one is worth it. And if you are gonna go all the way, I'll say then you might as well just go for the prime icon player pick. You may prefer that over the mid. There's only a few cards like Eusebio, who's or like, you know, R9. Maybe you can argue, well, maybe not. People prefer the R9 mid over the prime, or they prefer base Eusebio, but that's irrelevant because it's prime icon. So you can go with this one. I would say this is the best. I would say good choice. And if you want to go all the way, get Garincha, go ahead. But I think if you're gonna go ahead and get Garincha, why not just take the player icon pick? You could get R9. You could get another winger. At least you got 1 of 3. But that is kind of my advice on the player picks. I would just say, as a general rule of thumb, if your team is not complete, you need a right back, you can go for Cafu. But if you're sitting there, I think most players are like myself. You're happy with your team. If you get right back Cafu, will he be better than this player? Okay, yes, maybe. Is it going to be a big and amazing player at the end of the day? Probably not. But I wouldn't mind, for example, doing a player pick and taking my luck. And don't forget, you can check the season requirements by going to objectives. You can see here, icon swaps got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in squad battles. It's going to be painful. 5, I think you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone if you're the first owned, and you can do silver in another league, or you can do some, probably a bit less. Foot champions 13 games. So yeah, that, as you can see on the underneath, icon swaps 26 days. As you can see just above that yellow icon, got 1 league on Syria and La Liga. So to be honest, you can pause it. So I would say test, if you're going it for this one, test your luck, get the prime icons pack if your team's complete. Otherwise, pick a player to fit in. Otherwise, I would say go for the prime icon player pick if you don't mind going all the way. Or if you don't want to go all the way, get the base or mid one, or was it mid or prime, whatever it's called. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take it easy, of course. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.